A friend might like to snack on sushi, but you prefer pizza. I prefer pizza.
When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray.
They stomp through the woods and they tromp down the track. They hoist up the tree onto Bear's
Their
big
camels ate the grass, and the kings left a small gift for each
He
child.
came upon a small, round man brushing snow from his belly. Santa? Russell exclaimed.
I will make Little Owl a hat for Christmas.
Away up high above the rest, it shed a gentle beam. And when Little Eyes grew sleepy,
Finally, it was the day of Christmas Eve. La Vigilia di Natale.
Hi, my name's Krisy and I'm with the Doylestown Bookshop. Tonight I'm going to be reading Santa Mouse, Where Are You? Written by Michael Brown and illustrated by Alfreda DeWitt. Every year when it's December, we're excited as can be, for that's when we remember it's time to get a tree. We don't want a tree too tiny or too tall to fit the house. The tree we want has got to be just right for Santa Mouse. Santa Mouse is Santa's helper. He goes with him every year, and it really isn't Christmas unless both of them appear. Santa brings big presents in that come for you and me, while Santa Mouse takes tiny gifts and climbs up in the tree. He puts them right next to the trunk or way out on a limb. If a gift is in the branches, then we know it came from him. Now, once upon a time, someone who looked a lot like you was putting lights upon a tree, some green, some red, some blue. When suddenly this person said, "You know what there should be? A light right at the very top so Santa Mouse can see." It took a little help, of course, to set that special light. But finally, when bedtime came, it looked exactly right. Away up high above the rest, it shed a gentle beam. And when Little Eyes grew sleepy, it was shining in a dream. Now, far off in his workshop, Santa Mouse was wrapping toys. He was hurrying to finish lots of things for girls and boys. As he hunted for a ribbon, suddenly this happy fellow gave a whistle of surprise, because he found that one was yellow. He had needed something special for a very special present, but then a voice called to him, very deep, yet very pleasant. "It's time to travel, Santa Mouse. You know we can't be late." And Santa stepped into his sleigh. "Come on, the deer won't wait." So Santa Mouse came running with his present at his side, and he leaped for Santa's shoulder. It was time for them to ride. Off they flew as fast as lightning. Santa Mouse was holding on, but he felt his gift was slipping. Then, my goodness, it was gone. He said, "Stop," and tried to save it. At that moment, off he fell, but old Santa didn't know it, and the sleigh went on pell-mell. He was falling, calling, "Santa!" but with darkness all around. There was no one there to hear him. He was headed for the ground. Till he thought what he was holding, tucked his whiskers in his suit, took the paper and the ribbon, and produced a parachute. Then, kerplunk, he hit a snowbank and disappeared from sight, but he crawled out with his gift and looked around him in the night. What he thought was, "I am lost, everything is cold and bare. The thing to do is find a house and wait for Santa there." But he found nothing but the wind that chilled him through and through, and it seemed to whisper, "Santa Mouse, where are you? Where are you?" "Here I am," he shouted bravely as he trudged on through the storm, holding tightly to his present as if that could keep him warm. He sat down with a sniffle, tied the ribbon in a bow. Then he noticed something funny. On the bow, there was a glow. Somewhere near, a light was shining. He jumped up, and it was true, for a tiny golden glimmering was gleaming through the blue. Remember how one special light was placed for Santa Mouse? He could see it now. It lit the way for him to reach the house. He crept inside and climbed up high to place it in the tree, then went to sleep to wait for Santa Claus like you and me. And that's where Santa found him late that night upon his way. He picked him up and kissed him, then tucked him in his sleigh. So this year, when it's Christmas and you decorate your tree, why not put one light upon it that's as high up as can be? You may find a tiny present Christmas morning in your house. If it's tied with a yellow ribbon, then who brought it? Santa Mouse. And that was Santa Mouse, Where Are You?, written by Michael Brown and illustrated by Alfreda DeWitt.
Holiday Storytime is a program of Discover Doylestown and brought to you thanks to support from Marshall Financial Group and Simply Fresh by McCaffrey's.
I cannot believe how many kids have written such wonderful letters. It looks as though somebody was drawing some beautiful pictures again. Oh, my goodness. Aren't these drawings so nice? Look how nice that is. I've been a very good listener. Oh, Ryan, that's excellent. Please bring me a blue cement mixer with a yellow bucket. Look how lovely that is. My goodness. And this is from Remy. And Remy is age 4. Wow.
Write your letters to Santa and drop them off to the Doylestown Bookshop, Busy Bee Toys, or Monkey's Uncle.
And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I'll see you very soon.
Santa will read your letters live on Discover Doylestown's Facebook page each Wednesday in December at 7 p.m.
Welcome everyone. Tonight I am reading a book called Dasher. It was written by Matt Tavares. Dasher. Life was not easy for the reindeer family of J.P. Finnegan's traveling circus and menagerie. They spent long days crammed together under the hot sun as an endless stream of curious people jostled to catch a glimpse of them. Even at night, there was little rest. Some nights, to pass the time, Mama would tell stories. It was a magical place, she would say. The air was crisp and cold, and the ground was always covered with a cool blanket of white snow. Your father and I were free to roam under the glow of the North Star. Dasher, the youngest reindeer, loved Mama's stories. "Is that the North Star, Mama?" she asked. "The very same," Mama said. "We always knew we were home when it was directly overhead." "I wish I could go there," said Dasher. Mama sighed. "I do too," she said, "but Mr. Finnegan is not kind to animals who try to escape." Day after day, under the watchful eye of Mr. Finnegan, the reindeer family delighted crowds wherever they went. Dasher liked being with her family, and she loved meeting so many children who were always kind to her. Sometimes they even fed her carrots, which were her very favorite food. But at night, while the others were sleeping, she would lie awake, gazing at the bright star on the horizon, wishing for crisp, cold air and cool blankets of white snow. One night, mighty winds shook the circus tents and rattled the animals' cages. Dasher was wide awake, wishing on the North Star, when she was startled by a loud creak. The gate to their pen had swung open. Dasher could hear rustling from inside Mr. Finnegan's trailer. She glanced up at the North Star. She looked back at her sleeping family. She knew that this might be her only chance. Her heart pounded. She took a deep breath, and then as fast as she could, she ran. On she went for hours with the North Star as her guide. But no matter how far she traveled, it was still way off on the horizon. Do you see it up in the corner? Dasher began to wonder if she would ever make it there. She thought about turning back, but she couldn't remember the way. She didn't know what to do. So she looked up at the North Star and made a wish. Just then, Dasher heard something in the distance, a soft jingling coming from the woods. There in a clearing, Dasher saw a man and a horse. "I'm sorry, Santa," said the horse. "The sleigh is just so heavy this year." The man smiled. "Now don't you worry, Silver Bell," he said. "We'll take all the breaks you need." "But the children," said the horse. "They'll be heartbroken if we can't deliver all these toys by Christmas morning." "Children?" thought Dasher. She stepped forward. "Maybe I can help," she said. "Well, hello there," said the man. Dasher walked closer. The man smiled. "Have you ever pulled a sleigh?" he asked. Dasher shook her head. "I've never even seen a sleigh," she said, "but I pull a wagon just about every night." "Well," said the man, "how would you like to make a whole bunch of children really happy on Christmas morning?" "I would like that very much," said Dasher. Santa thanked Dasher and attached her harness. It was soft against her fur, and its jingling bells made the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. Santa climbed into his sleigh, and Dasher pulled with all her might. Then suddenly, the load felt lighter. Dasher looked down. They were flying! All night, Dasher and Silver Bell pulled Santa's sleigh through the air as Santa guided it from rooftop to rooftop, delivering toys to children everywhere. Dasher had never experienced such a thrill, and she ate so many carrots she felt like she would burst. She was having so much fun, she forgot all about the North Star. As the first light of dawn appeared on the horizon, they landed. The air was crisp and cold. The ground was covered with a cool blanket of white snow. Dasher searched for the North Star on the horizon, but couldn't find it anywhere. Santa smiled. "Dasher," he said, "look up." And there it was, directly overhead. "Is that the North Star?" she asked. Santa's eyes twinkled. "Merry Christmas," he said, "and welcome home." The North Star was just as wonderful as Mama's stories. Dasher roamed wherever she pleased, and Santa gave her all the carrots she wanted. But something was missing. "I love it here," she told Santa, "but I miss my family, and I wish we could be together." Santa smiled. "That's your best wish yet, Dasher," he said. "Let's go find them." Later that night, Dasher guided Santa's sleigh all the way to J.P. Finnegan's traveling circus and menagerie. "Mama, Papa," Dasher whispered, "everyone wake up." Mama lifted her head. "Dasher," she said, "is it really you?" "It's me, Mama," said Dasher. She told her family all about Santa and Silver Bell and how the North Pole was just as amazing as Mama's stories. "But I missed you," she said. "You were all I wished for." Dasher led her family to Santa's sleigh, and Santa attached their harnesses. "You're not going to believe this part," he said. When Christmas Eve arrived, Silver Bell watched as Santa prepared his team. "Are you sure you don't want to come?" asked Dasher. "I'm sure," said Silver Bell. "I know the 8 of you will do a fine job." Late that night, as Santa and his new team of reindeer started soaring around the world, he called them by name for the very first time. "Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen." On Christmas morning, after all the toys had been delivered, they flew back to the North Pole, where they still live happily today. There, the air is crisp and cold. The ground is always covered with a blanket of white snow. And Dasher has everything she ever wished for. I hope that you enjoyed that story. I look forward to seeing you at the bookshop. Good night.